Hi guys, today I'm going to show you that you do not need to be in Japan to be exposed to an immersion environment. We're going to set up your immersion environment today. Alright. Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to make a little video today to tell you about how to set up kind of an immersion environment. So I want to do this myself as well, so I've already took a lot of steps to kind of get this in place and also using some things I've been doing for a while, but I really wanted it to take it kind of to the next level, and I wanted you guys as well to try it yourself and get you exposed to more Japanese on a daily basis. Sometimes I find it very hard if you haven't spoken Japanese for a while or used Japanese for a while. I'm sure you'll know you'll come to do a bit of studying or try and speak and it just won't come very fast. So the idea is to always be exposed to Japanese, so when the time comes you're ready to go, and you know it's just going to help you level a lot. So what the main aims of the video is, we're going to look at ways that we can include all the different senses, you know, listening, speaking, not smelling, okay, but yeah, try and include everything in our daily lives. So let's get into it, guys. This is going to be really fun. I'm really excited about it. Okay, let's go. Step 1, reading. Okay, so now we're going to look at some reading. So this is a really cool one actually. So recently I've just changed my Apple iPhone into Japanese setting. So now everything's in Japanese. So I'm forced to read Japanese while I'm on my phone, which is really cool because in WhatsApp, Instagram, all that kind of thing, everything's changed. All the apps have changed. So that's pretty awesome. So obviously there's still words and kanji that I'm coming across here, more technical things that I haven't learned yet. So if I really need to use one, I'll take the kanji and just figure out what it is. And for that I would use this website here, jisho.org. This is where you can type in a kanji or a word you don't know and it'll bring it up for you and translate it. And you can also with this app get example sentences, which is really cool. It's not an app, sorry, it's a website, but just type it in. It's really, really cool. I use this all the time. So yeah, if you need to understand something on your phone that you use every day, maybe it's like send a message or somebody is typing or whatever and you don't understand it, you'll be so frustrated because you want to know what it is, so you'll force yourself to learn it, and it's really cool to see it happening. I would challenge yourself to keep it on as long as possible and translate those words that are really annoying you, and that will really help because they're more common words too. Okay, and of course actual reading from books is really, really cool too. So obviously most of you guys are studying for the N5 and some of you are studying for the N4 too. I'm imagining you've all got textbooks of some sort, so I would, before bed or any time of the day, but I prefer to do it just before I sleep, maybe half an hour before, just read the conversations over and over again. Okay, it doesn't have to be rushing through the book, just repeat the same thing. If you don't understand something, read it again and again and again until the patterns start to click. And even if you don't understand everything, the more you read, the better you're going to get subconsciously. It's really, really cool. And yeah, just read. There's also lots of articles online that you can just type in Google N5 reading or Japanese reading. Manga is also a really good way to learn. It's quite hard to get hold of, I guess, and a little expensive in the UK at least, but that's also quite good if you're into that. Step 2, listening. Okay, so we're going to talk a bit about listening and how to get some more kind of audio exposure on a day-to-day basis, and where we can get that audio from and kind of where to use it and how best to learn from it. So what I would recommend is, throughout my journey I've used a lot of YouTube. So when I've been studying for like the N4, the N3, and even now on the N2, I'm always on YouTube listening to the mock tests. Even if I'm just walking around or I'm on the bus or wherever, I've just kind of got my headphones in on YouTube listening to that. I could also be listening to like a drama just online that I like, just as I'm walking around, just to increase the exposure to Japanese, just picking up the sentence patterns and coming across like new words or words I already know, just to emphasize them again. But it's definitely a really, really good thing to do, and I really recommend you do it as much as possible. So whenever you're listening to music, just think, hang on a minute, do I need to listen to this, or could I be having more time with Japanese and learning more? So I would definitely recommend that. Also, I would recommend actually sitting down and watching different dramas and TV shows and things like that. You can find them loads on YouTube everywhere. So, what I would recommend is not having the subtitles on, because usually you'll end up reading the subtitles at the bottom and not actually taking anything in, which is going to be a problem. So I would either kind of cover up the subs with like a book or something like that, or just try and find a way to turn them off, and that will really, really help. A few years ago, I also came across a great method called the subtitle tutor, and what you do with this method is you'd watch the drama without the subtitles, try and pick things up for yourself, and then watch it again with the subtitles, and you'll kind of be surprised at what you have picked up and what you've learned, and that's a lot more effective than just watching it once with the subs on. Also, something really cool I've found recently is that on Netflix you can actually change the settings to Japanese and also Japanese subtitles. So that winning combination is really having Japanese content to watch, but also Japanese subtitles. So if you can't really hear something properly, you can kind of look and read the kanji or the hiragana or whatever it is. And also, if you don't understand everything, it's absolutely fine. It's usually quite hard to understand everything, of course. Even at a higher level, it's quite difficult. So just more exposure to the Japanese language, the sounds, the patterns, that kind of thing. And also, last thing as well, to increase listening kind of exposure, I would recommend substituting your normal songs and try and put some more kind of Japanese songs in there. Now, rock songs, fast-paced songs are extremely difficult, and we all know lyrics and actually like spoken conversation, wording and language anyway. It's all like kind of, farewell, my love from another realm. But you don't have to worry about that, because go for ballads, love songs, slow songs. They're all kind of really nice, easy listening, and they're really good as well. Some really good artists out there, so I would go and check that out and get them in your ears. Step 3, speaking. Hey! Now, when it comes to speaking, I think this is one of the hardest things to get in the habit of doing, but I think a really good idea is to start thinking in Japanese too, and then this really does increase your speaking level. A good exercise for this is what I use is when I'm walking around or I'm in the house, I'll look around and I'll kind of describe the actions that are going on. For example, if I was holding my phone, I'd say "Keitai o motte iru." I'm holding my phone. That kind of thing. So kind of look at the things you know, challenge yourself, and if you don't understand something and you really want to, you don't know how to say it, just write it down, make a note, and then go on, Google at home and find out, or ask me. I'll help. Also, another handy tip for improving your speaking is when you actually say a phrase in English or your native language, try and repeat that back to yourself in Japanese, or say it in Japanese. So become your own translator, really. Even if you can't say the whole sentence, just try and pick out 1 or 2 words that you can say, and this will really help. Lastly, I would really recommend HelloTalk or any other kind of apps that get you talking to somebody who's actually from Japan. You don't even have to, if you speak on the phone, you can just type and text. That's also a really good way to improve your speaking. It gives you more time to think about what you're going to say, but eventually you really will need to speak to these people. I mean, why the hell do you want to learn it if not? So what I would recommend is find someone who you're comfortable with, get to know them, and Japanese people are so nice, and they're just going to help you, and don't ever feel embarrassed about making mistakes or anything, because you shouldn't. You're learning, and after mistakes comes the glory, the holy grail. So I would recommend finding someone that you get on with, have a really good strong relationship with, and just find time to practice, even if it's just simple, and have a little agenda to what you're going to talk about. That's always cool. Also, lastly, I think it's important to write. Now, personally, I don't write anymore, kind of pen to paper, which is a shame. I do in textbooks, but not to write stories or anything. I don't do it in English, so why would I do it in Japanese? It's a good way to remember kanji though, so maybe do that. But writing is really important, and that will help to improve your speaking too, because you remember what you wrote and you can use it later. So I would recommend writing a little diary of what you did in the day or what you want to do tomorrow every night, just before bed or whenever you get a bit of chance in the day. It doesn't have to be long, 30 words or whatever. It's just really, really helpful. So don't overwhelm yourself, but introduce this kind of immersion environment slowly. The more you do, the more you're going to expose. You're going to love studying a lot more because you're exposed all the time. Study sessions won't hurt your brain. So let me know how you guys get on. Obviously, I want to help out as much as possible, so send me kind of any problems that you're having or any questions, and I'll be able to answer those for you, because I'm totally in the immersion environment too. I'm watching lots of stuff at the moment. Got my phone in Japanese, which is crazy cool. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you liked it, and until next time, genki dene. Bye bye.
日本語を勉強しましょう。うどんうどんうどん。うどん教室へようこそ。始めるぞ。